Best smartphones under 20,000. If you're thinking about buying a smartphone under 20,000, don't waste your money. I have picked the 5 killer phones under 20,000. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for honest tech advice and follow me on Instagram. Last one on the list is the best phone under 20,000. So watch the video till the end. Number 1. Redmi Note 14. It is powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 7025 Ultra chipset. For daily use, it works just fine. But if you're looking for raw performance, there are slightly faster phones at this price. The biggest highlight of this phone is the 6.67-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED display. It is bright and you get 2100 nits peak brightness, making it one of the brightest displays in this segment, and it supports 120Hz variable refresh rate. The stereo speakers are surprisingly good even at maximum volume. Camera wise, you get a 50 megapixel Sony sensor with OIS, an 8 megapixel ultra wide and a 2 megapixel macro sensor. In good lighting, photos look sharp and slightly more vibrant than real life, which many users actually prefer. The ultra wide captures a wide field of view without noticeable distortion, and you even get 2x optical zoom with no loss in quality. Digital zoom goes up to 20x, but the image quality starts degrading after 10x. Low light photography is a weak point. Night mode is inconsistent and struggles to retain details. For selfies, there is a 20 megapixel front camera, which is honestly one of the better ones at this 20k price. Both front and rear cameras can record 1080p video at 30 fps, and that is a bit disappointing because in 2025 we really expect 4k recording even in 20k budget phones. Battery wise, you get 5100 mAh battery with 45 watt charger. On the software side, it runs on HyperOS based on Android 14. You get only 2 years of major OS updates and 3 years of security patches. The phone has IP64 dust and splash resistance. Number 2. iQOO Z10X. It is powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 7300 chipset built on 4nm process. It is paired with 8GB RAM and 256GB of UFS 3.1 storage. Heavy titles like Genshin Impact or BGMI on high settings will show frame drops after extended gameplay. If gaming is your top priority, there are better options in this price range. The display is a 6.72-inch Full HD Plus LCD panel with 120Hz refresh rate and a 1050 nits peak brightness. The phone's biggest strength is its 6500 mAh battery. It easily lasts 2 days of moderate use and you get a 44 watt charger. Audio is handled by dual stereo speaker setup. It is loud, but at maximum volume, the sound loses character and feels a bit flat. Software wise, it runs Android 15 based FunTouch OS 15 out of the box. iQOO promises 2 major OS updates and 3 years of security patches. On the camera side, you get a 50 megapixel main sensor with a 2 megapixel depth camera and a 8 megapixel selfie camera. The rear camera can record 4K videos at 30 fps, while the selfie camera does 1080p 30 fps. In daylight, the main camera takes impressive shots with good colors and sharpness. Even in low light, the results are better than expected for this price. The selfie camera, on the other hand, is just okay. It also comes with IP64 rating for dust and splash resistance. Number 3. Infinix Note 50s. It comes with the MediaTek Dimensity 7300 Ultimate chipset built on a 4nm process. It is paired with 8GB of LPDDR5X RAM and a 256GB UFS 2.2 storage. Performance is smooth for everyday use, but for serious gaming, this is not the best choice. If gaming is your main focus, the Infinix own GT30 Pro would actually serve you better. You get a 6.78-inch curved AMOLED panel with 144Hz refresh rate and a 1300 nits peak brightness. Colors are vibrant, HDR10 is supported, and scrolling feels incredibly smooth. However, the phone doesn't always hold that 144Hz refresh rate. Outdoor visibility is good enough, but strong sunlight can cause some reflection, which is slightly distracting. For audio, Infinix has partnered with JBL to tune the stereo speakers. They are definitely louder, but they still lack the richness and distort about 60% volume. The phone features a dual rear camera setup with 64 megapixel main sensor and a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. The main camera does a good job in the daylight, producing clear and vibrant images with balanced exposure. Portrait shots have decent detail, though the skin tones sometimes look overly soft. Low light performance takes a hit. Even with the night modes, images lose sharpness and details. On the bright side, both the front and rear cameras support 4K 30 fps video recording, which is rare under 20,000. There is no OIS, so stabilization entirely depends on EIS, but the video output is still quite usable. You get a 5500 mAh battery which supports 45 watt charging and even 10 watts reverse wireless charging. One thing missing here is the expandable storage. On the software side, it runs on the XOS 15 based on Android 15. Infinix promises 2 major OS updates and 3 years of security patches. OnePlus Nord CE4. This phone runs on Snapdragon 7 Gen 3 chipset paired with 8GB RAM and 128GB UFS 3.1 storage. The storage is expandable with micro SD card, but it uses the SIM 2 slot. So you have to pick between the extra storage or the dual SIM. The display is 6.74-inch AMOLED panel with Full HD Plus resolution, 120Hz refresh rate and HDR10 Plus support. OnePlus has included a lifetime display warranty, which adds peace of mind. Throughout the usage, whether browsing, multitasking or gaming, there was no lag or stutter. The Snapdragon 7 Gen 3 handles demanding apps and games comfortably. The 5500 mAh battery is another strong point, and it supports 100-watt fast charging. On the camera side, the Nord CE4 uses a 50-megapixel Sony sensor with OIS, a 8-megapixel ultra-wide Sony sensor and a 16-megapixel front camera. Daylight photos from the main camera are detailed and look good for the social media. However, in the bright sunlight, colors can sometimes look a little washed out and the dynamic range isn't always consistent. Low light performance is decent. The front camera is fine for the selfies but struggle with the edge detection in the portrait mode. For video, the rear camera supports 4K 30fps while the front camera does 1080p 30fps. Thanks to the OIS and EIS, the stabilization is decent, but overall video quality could have been better. On the software front, you get Oxygen OS 14 based on Android 14, which is clean and responsive. OnePlus promises 2 years of OS updates and 3 years of security patches. Stereo speakers are included and they are good enough for the casual gaming and media. Plus HDR10 support enhances the video content. Overall, the OnePlus Nord CE4 is one of the best all-rounders under 20,000. Number 5. Realme Narzo 80 Pro. This is my favorite under 20,000. This phone is powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 7400 chipset built on a 4nm process, paired with 8GB RAM and 256GB storage. The display is a big highlight here. A 6.67-inch curved AMOLED display with 120Hz refresh rate and a peak brightness of 4500 nits. And it is also protected by Gorilla Glass 3. Camera-wise, you get a 50-megapixel Sony sensor with OIS as the main camera, paired with a 2-megapixel monochrome sensor. In good daylight, the main camera captures vivid, colorful shots. The problem comes in the low light. Even with the night mode, the images can look soft and lack detail. The video recording goes up to 4K 30fps on the rear camera. The 16-megapixel selfie camera does an okay job for the social media and supports 1080p 30fps video, but again, it struggles in the low light scenarios. For gaming, I tested BGMI on HD plus high settings and got an average of 29 FPS, which is quite smooth for casual gaming. Call of Duty Mobile performed even better, touching around 54 FPS on medium high settings. Plus, Realme has added GT mode and a massive vapor cooling chamber, so thermal management is decent. You get a 6000 mAh battery with 80-watt fast charging. On the software side, it ships with the Realme UI 6.0 based on Android 15 out of the box. The company promises 2 years of OS updates and 3 years of security patches. Audio is handled by the dual stereo speaker setup. The sound is loud enough for the casual use, but at maximum volume, you notice some distortion. The phone has an IP69 rating and the build quality is mostly plastic with round edges. So those were my top 5 phones under 20,000. Each phone has something unique, but my personal favorite is the Realme Narzo 80 Pro. Which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments below. And if this video helped you, give it a like and share it with anyone looking for a new phone under 20,000.